Can you talk to me about how Wendy ended up in a guardianship?
My understanding is somebody was in her bank account that Wells Fargo flagged, and there was large withdrawals being taken out.
My son, he overstepped his boundaries in terms of me. You understand? He overstepped his boundaries, and he was inappropriately using my money without telling me crap about it. Like, is he stealing from me? Look, all I know is that in terms of what I'm dealing with, and that this is still going on, because, that's when my money got frozen at Wells Fargo. Thank God. No more money stealing from my son and the other people.
Wells Fargo, your bank, said you were the victim of undue influence and financial exploitation with respect to your money. Who was unduly influencing you? Who is the person that was doing this?
Thank you. Listen, my son is a really good person. You know what? Oh, God, I'm not going to cry about that. Oh, I'm sorry for cursing. Look, my son is a good person, but at this point, he is a horrible person to me. You know what I'm saying? It's the way he moves with other people. You know what I'm saying? And what's going on with these other people at my apartment in Miami? What are you doing? Oh, you spent on what? And what is going on at Wells Fargo?
There was a situation where Kevin says he wanted to rent a boat for his birthday for $1,500 and ended up getting a boat that rented out for $113,000. And he blamed it on the bank, that the bank wanted him to have that. That never really made sense to me.
Nor me. You know what I'm saying? He has a way of getting with, a couple of other people. You know what I'm saying? My son is not the only one, involved with my money.
I've been new. I knew that boy was trifling, and now his mother just confirmed it. And really, none of this should surprise any of y'all, because I don't know if y'all have forgotten this quickly, but this is the same boy that got hit with an eviction notice in March of 2024 for missing over $4,300 in rent. I know y'all ain't forgotten that this wasn't his first rent issue, because back in 22, he faced eviction from a $2 million Miami apartment after racking up $70,000 in unpaid rent. Wendy Williams, his mom, stepped in then, covering his first year's rent with a $100,000 payment. Kevin would later blame his struggles on Wendy's declining health and her losing control over her finances, which left him without her support. Child, talk about entitled. That boy a grown man, mind you. The boy has shown that he was thirsty for his mama's bag from the moment we knew who he was. And are we gonna blame the lack of present father for that, or are we gonna blame Wendy's parenting skills? Who are we gonna blame? Because someone, somewhere, messed up with this boy, and it's come back to bite poor Wendy. Cause now the word out there is it was Wendy's son that orchestrated her conservatorship, allegedly. And from the way Wendy's been talking about it, it looks like someone's been pulling that boy's strings. Because I don't know if y'all saw what I saw and heard what I heard, but Wendy don't sound like someone who's got dementia. Now, I know she don't look like the Wendy we all know, but that could be just because she's 60 and stressed and betrayed by the one person she would have given her life for, her son. Because y'all know that Wendy ain't the type to scare easily, but when she had Diddy and he went about talking about how he talked to her son, here's how she reacted.
As the mother of a now 16-year-old.
Mm-hmm. Who I met backstage,
He did?
He's a great young man.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
You represent a lot.
Because that's how much she loved her boy. Well, he's a man now. He's 23, but she still loves him. And that's why, despite the fact it's clear that her son went out of his way to use and abuse her, she's been so defensive of him, talking about how he's a good boy that's been bad to her, and also talking about some other people he's been rolling with that's influencing him. See, if there's one person that immediately comes to mind when I hear that kind of accusation, it's her husband, Kevin Hunter. Hunter Sr. Maybe he wasn't so absent, because it's looking like he wasn't. Maybe Kevin Jr.'s been a pawn for his father all along. See, when Wendy finally kicked Kevin Sr. to the curb in 2019, her family said that breakup hit her like a ton of bricks. Her niece even said emotionally it was just a lot. It was too much for her world. And let's be real, Wendy ain't been the same since. But what if that's exactly what they wanted? Now peep this. Kevin Sr. got with Wendy back in 97, and before that, sis had a whole life, another marriage, a career, and she ain't never been no dummy. But the second she linked up with Big Kev, suddenly he her manager, her business partner, the one making all the money moves? Man, he finessed his way into full control early, helping her build the Wendy Williams show in '08 and calling himself executive producer like he really did the work. And it wasn't just the talk show either. He had his hands in everything, even that love triangle game show. Now tell me why when Wendy finally broke free and filed for divorce, her whole empire started crumbling. Kevin Sr. got kicked off the show and bruh was mad. So mad he sued the production company for wrongfully terminating him. Talking about it was cause his marital status. Sir, you got fired cause you was living foul, not cause you ain't married no more. And the wildest part, the judge ain't even throw the case out. That means we still gotta hear this mess in court. And let's not forget why Wendy left him in the first place. Sis put up with years of cheating, even caught him creeping on late night call right after she had their son. She let it slide back then, even told herself it made them stronger. But fast forward to 2019, and that man had the audacity to have a whole baby with his side chick. That was the final straw for Wendy. She told the New York Times Kevin had a major indiscretion that he will have to deal with for the rest of his life, an indiscretion that I will not deal with. And now, here's where it gets even messier. While all this was going down, Kevin Jr. was right there, growing up under his daddy's influence, seeing how he moved, watching how he controlled Wendy, her money, her business, her life. And the second Wendy was out here struggling, suddenly Kevin Jr. all up in her finances, helping manage her money, allegedly. And what happens next? Her bank accounts get frozen, a conservatorship gets put in place, and guess who's still pretty with access to everything? See, this ain't just some coincidence. Kevin Sr.'s been playing the long game. He controlled Wendy for decades, lost his grip when she left him, and now his son, the one who grew up watching him run things, is stepping into the same position. Now, all of this is alleged, but I'll be shocked if the conservatorship is really about protecting Wendy and not about keeping the Williams empire in their hands. Because who's the person that's not been included in the efforts to protect Wendy? Wendy herself. But what do y'all think? Is Kevin Jr. really being controlled by his dad to ruin his mother? Or do y'all think it's dementia controlling Wendy and she really ain't all right up there with everything she's claiming? And is she really telling the truth? Shouldn't she be free and back on her own show and control of her own finances? Let me know what y'all think in the comments.